On November 29, 2017, Hi-Rez announced its Open Beta 64 patch for its popular hero shooter game Paladins. The patch received tons of negative feedback on Reddit, forums, Discord, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, even Facebook. But Hi-Rez seemed pretty confident in its cards Unbound. Despite heavy criticism, they went on ahead with it. After a long silence, on December 16, Hi-Rez Teo posted a Google Doc file on his Twitter, which basically said, "We know what we are doing, and it's supposed to do what we want." On December 29, Hi-Rez decided to do its Dev Insight, which is a monthly video broadcast where they talk about future plans or upcoming patch, or just to explain the recent changes. This time, it was just a video about OB64 is
exactly as planned.
I emote after every kill. In 63 and along the way to it, we identified a few problems that we want to solve. One of the biggest ones for me was cards.
Cards are a problem?
And I still go in and the only character where I care about my deck was Grok. Sure. Like, I had my one Grok deck, I was good with that. For everyone else, I just picked my legendary out. I didn't care what I had. I emo after every kill. We wanted to make cards a little bit more engaging, a little bit more interesting.
What was the reason for that? I mean, I know some people were saying, like, hey, I liked it how it is.
Yeah,
what
sure.
What are the problems that you targeted?
There were some really cool things about the previous card system, right? Like, customizing your own deck and getting those points, that's really cool. And the way that, like, hey, maybe you like rank 3 and someone else likes rank 2, that's cool. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to... So, another goal that we attempted to address with OB64 was not only engagement with cards, but engagement with the game as a whole, which means trying to get players to spend more time in the game, spend more time playing matches, and spend more time having fun. And that actually has happened. In OB64 versus OB63, each player is playing more per day on average. So, and it's not a small amount. Like, it's actually a pretty good big increase. We're very pleased about that, which is really cool. And the other thing to note is that if you look at entire queue population, we actually have a very, very healthy population in the Unbound mode, but the classic and competitive modes are healthy too. So there's a good split of players playing each different part of the game. Which is really cool, you know. A bunch of people moved to Onslaught. Onslaught went up relative to itself, it went up by like 20%.
And we had the new map,
because of the new map, yeah, and that was really cool. Lots of people enjoying Onslaught, and it's good, you know. And we are, you know, we're watching these metrics. We're saying, okay, what's happening day by day after the system comes out? Like, what are these players doing? Are they playing more? Are they liking it? Are they disliking it? Where are they spending their time? What are they doing? And so far, things are looking pretty good. We're gonna keep watching that because, you know, it's been a week, right? And we gotta see where our trajectory is going. I emote after every kill. Talking about one of the things that we've seen a lot of recently is people are like looking at Steam charts, right? Yeah. And they're like, oh, like, look at this game population over time, and like, that's one of the things that we do. It's part of my job and part of, you know, what Todd does and what Garrett does. And one thing that's interesting about that is just as a free-to-play title, in the fourth quarter, you actually are expecting to see a little bit of a ramp down, and I mean, for good reason, right? Like Destiny came out recently. Destiny is pretty cool, right? There's lots of cool stuff. COD World War 2, Battlefront 2, which I really enjoyed, especially the campaign. It was pretty sweet.
So you think the loss in player base is because of Christmas gifts of Destiny 2 and Call of Duty? And totally not because of OB64, annoying bugs, and in general poor quality of your game? I see a lot of people saying player base is fine or it's just getting rid of the retards. Well, it just makes the remaining retards come to your match, you stupid fuck. You like statistics? Here's one. Yes, team charts do not give an accurate figures of player base. What other options do PC players have? It's either Steam or it's Hi-Rez Launcher. How many people use Hi-Rez Launcher? 10% of player base? Heck, let's take 50%. Can't be more than that. Now tell me, does Steam Chat not give you an idea that the player base is declining? Or would you say that people are just moving from Steam to Hi-Res Launcher? It's a fact that player base is declining. You can even see the bad matchmaking as an after effect of it. If 50% of PC players are Hi-Res Launcher users, which is some serious exaggeration, the average 17k on Steam becomes 34k in total for PC players. Divide in 6 regions, that's 5.6k. Match lasts around 8 to 25 minutes. Let's take 17-ish minutes. And let's say queue pops in like 3 minutes. So let's say every 17 minutes you spend 3 minutes in queue. So about 1/7 of the time in game, you are in queue. Let's even ignore the idle time you spend on the home screen or opening chest. So estimating 1/7 of all people are in queue and 6/7 are in match. There are 7 modes: bot, unbound, payload, onslaught, arcade, classic, competitive. Wait, ignore bot mode, skewing the results in their favor even more. 5.6k people in server at a time in 6 modes. 944 people in each game mode. 134 people in queue for each mode. Now let MMR separate them up, from newbie players to veteran. Doesn't take much IQ to see the game is dying, but it takes 200 IQ to remain committed to Cards Unbound and its core mechanics.
I emote after every kill.
So I mean, card levels really don't make a big difference. I guess if you want to look on this side though, they had more. Guy had a level 1 or something. What the frick? Miguel OG.
I emote after every kill. When we get feedback from someone on the Reddit whose name doesn't match their username in the game, I don't know who you are. I don't know what level you play at. I can tell how engaged you are in the game and how articulate are, sure, but that also doesn't really matter. It's just sort of like, here's the feedback that we're hearing from anyone, right? Like, we don't know, and that's also really valuable because.
Yep.
You get it.
Yep. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, he got it. Nick, did you get it? I got it. He got it too.